Hi everyone, welcome to Sports Just Josh and Isa. We are back for a reaction. I don't know whether I should call it a reaction, a review. Well, we are back for a reaction, and it's very sad that Man United keep losing this way. It's very sad. It's not fun at all. Man, I'm gutted. I'm really, really gutted. Once again, thank you so much for tuning in, Josh and Isaac Sports Jazz. Please do subscribe, turn on the notifications. And yeah, United just lost at Old Trafford again. Very disappointing. To Nottingham Forest, 2-3. That was the final score. Josh, your thoughts? Because I'm really gutted, man. I'm really gutted. I have a lot of things to say. I don't know whether I'll be able to say them.
Yo, it's not a good look. It's not a good look. Losing two games on the bounce. You thought that this was going to be a very tough period for the new manager, but we did hope that we shall be grinding out results as we get into the mold of play that he envisions his team to have. But it was unfortunate that Nottingham Forest did score very early on in the game, but we came back. We came back strong because we created actually a chance in just after we conceded, and we looked like we were going to get back in the game. We had a lot of possession. We had about 73% of the ball in the first 30 minutes, even if we had conceded a goal, and we were very comfortable. We found each other with ease. We kept the ball. The problem that I did have, we were a bit too slow in the build-up. In the build-up phase, whenever Delict, Lenioro, Martinez, and Onana played with each other, there was not a lot of movement by Ugarte, Mainu, Hoyland, and Fernandez. Even when the movement was there, Nottingham Forest had prepared to not press high, but they were in a mid block, and they waited for Man United to get into that area of the pitch before they pressed. It You can say that it worked out in the end because much as we had the ball, the ball was not in the dangerous places that would hurt Nottingham Forest. For me, I think the manager got it wrong, starting Alejandro Garnacho. I didn't think that Garnacho would start that game. I mean, I do love Garnacho as a player because he's one of the players who must improve for United to get better results, because he has demonstrated that he is lethal in front of goal. I mean, okay, not lethal, but he gets a goal every now and then, and he gets into the right positions. It's just that his decision making is a bit very poor, and you cannot afford, in the manner in which the manager sets up the team, you cannot afford to go into attack and you don't come back with a goal, because that means you left huge gaps at the back because the wing backs are moved from their positions. Another player that I didn't like today was Diogo Dalot. Diogo Dalot had a stinker of a game. I mean, he got on the ball way too often, and I was asking myself um, why the team was not playing Amad Diallo more on the ball and using Garnacho and Diogo Dalot. But then I realized that Fernandez, being right-footed, the fact that he was playing closer to Amad Diallo, it was easy for him to switch the ball onto the side of Garnacho and Diogo Dalot. But that didn't work out. Later on, when Marcus Rashford came and Fernandez changed to the left-hand side, that's where our goal actually came from. That is the second goal. I loved the first goal that we did score. It was a beautiful team move. Yeah, Garnacho almost fluffed that chance, but Hoyland was right there to tuck it in. and we leveled the game, got back in the game, and I thought things were rosy at the time. But I always had this feeling we were too slow at the back. We were too slow moving the ball to the other third of the pitch, which hurt us. The substitutions did not work, but I didn't see how they were ever going to work because at the time you bring on Zaxi and Mason Mount, the player you're taking out is Manuel Ugarte, and Manuel Ugarte steadied the ship. Manuel Ugarte actually played very well. I think he was the best Man United player. He was very neat. Oh, him and Fernandez, because Fernandez had a good game too. Ugarte was really positive. He was not dropping the ball. He was keeping the ball. He
Some
was
people have reservations on Fernandez.
in today's game.
Mm.
No, I personally I don't. I think he did actually play well. The first time in a long time that I've seen him play this well. Even the goal that he did score, it was a beautiful goal. He had a lot to do, even when Amad Diallo had laid that ball off for him.
My
So
check.
yeah, it's a very bad result. It is a very bad result. I mean, uh, you would prefer to have won this game going into the Manchester derby in 8 days, but it wasn't to be, and we have to dig deep and find of confidence going into that game over the weekend.
Well, thank you so much, Josh. I personally think, I mean, where do I even start from? First of all, it's very hurting. I feel hurt that we had to lose this game. I felt we should have. Okay, this is one of those games that we really, really had to move. Sorry, to win, to move from the position we are in currently, at least to get into the first 10, painful as I can say that. But again, also, if I'm to look at the key points, Josh, Mino, Mino doesn't have the legs. Mino doesn't have the legs, especially in this kind of formation. Maybe the other, but this kind of formation, the one that Amorim has, rather that the one that Amorim is trying to implement at Old Trafford, Mino is not built. Maybe he comes on as a substitution. He's good going forward, but coming back and tracking, no. Yeah, as he said about Ugarte, I also think Ugarte played very well and well deserved. Uh, I mean, his performance was very, very good. Unfortunately, we didn't win. Individual errors cost us a lot, just from Man United. The first one,
Onana, both
Onana,
goals.
actually, Onana, yeah, individual errors. And this hinders the manager's plans, and effectively gifting the victory to Forest. So I felt that was very poor. Dallo, of course, had a very, very, very poor performance, Josh. Out of nine crosses, zero were successful. You know, very, very poor. I think we need a new left back in January. That's what I think. I think we need a new left back. We cannot rely on Luke Shaw. He's always in the sick bay. He comes out, doesn't even barely even plays 3 games, and he's sick. Tyler Malasia is still recovering, but even if he was available, he still needs to rest. So I don't
No,
think that
yeah,
is the
you can't
best
have
person.
one left back at the club.
Exactly. So Dallo, I don't think he suits. Not even Mazarawi. We just need a new left back. Of course, Amad Diallo was excellent, superb, very, very, very excellent. I don't know why he didn't
I
start.
wish that he got much more on the ball. He didn't have a lot of the ball, and that was
But
not
yes, you
good.
cannot blame him. At one point,
I'm
most
not
of the
blaming
balls were
him.
go-
I
no,
am
no, I'm not saying
blaming
you. Most
the
of the balls
team.
were going the other side of the wing, the
Exactly,
dead
exactly.
wing. And I remember
And
at one point during the watch along, you were saying, guys, use Ahmad Diallo's wing.
yeah, because Amad Diallo is comfortable on the ball. He makes things happen. I mean, out of the blue, there is
He
some.
presses.
Yeah, out of the blue, there is some light whenever he gets the ball, but we kept giving it to Ganacho. But for me, I think Ruben Amorim made a mistake starting Ganacho in this game. Any other player would have started ahead of Ganacho. Ganacho is very impactful when he comes off the bench. So why not bring him on?
Ganacho. My only problem is with Ganacho's decision making, and I mean,
But that's
yes, he
what makes a
runs.
footballer.
I
Because I
know he
mean,
runs, he gets into positions, but for some reason, I don't. He takes
for,
long. The ball. He lives. He enjoys having more than two touches,
yeah,
and
but you see
by that
from
you're
where,
attracting defenders. You're attracting opponents, and they are going to come. They're going to take the ball. Even the first goal, the one that Rasmus Holland scored, he had failed to score it. Josh.
yeah,
I know he tried to
like
shoot, and the keeper saved it, but
yes,
it doesn't feel right.
from where I come from, almost everyone plays football. It's the go-to sport. It's football is the sport that most people do play. So that means maybe everyone could be a footballer, but if you're a professional footballer, it's the decision making which is the difference. It is the one that gives you one edge over another guy who kicks the ball around. So I mean, a player like Ganacho, we cannot ask you enough to get into that element. I know he's young, he's still developing and stuff like that, but at 20 years old, 21 years old, he's been 2 seasons at the club at a high level. I mean, even if he was playing in the youth cup in the other season, at least he's had some game time, some valuable game time, and he should actually do much better. He should do it much better.
Yeah, I think Ahmad really he showed creativity and made the team more dangerous when in possession. Uh, but again, the left side of the team underperformed. Martinez struggled. Dal, of course, was very ineffective as a wing back, left wing back, overloading the left to get Dallo into key areas. Proved fatal due to his poor crossing. Out of nine, and you have zero successful crosses, Josh. That's very poor. And yeah, you
I
talked
know.
about Onana, the individual mistakes that did cost us. Usually he's reliable,
Onana for the
but
second
today
goal.
made significant, silly mistakes.
Yeah, for the second goal, that grass cutter, I can excuse him for it. I mean, the technique was superb. He shouldn't have gone early, but he did go early, and maybe that one you can say he had a howler in that moment. But for the third goal, the one of Chris Wood, Delict actually protected that area for Nana to come out and collect. You a goalkeeper, command your area, come out and collect the ball,
That's why I
punch that
also blame
ball
him
out of the
during
area.
the Arsenal game, the game that we
You
lost.
cannot.
He wasn't speaking. You need to command your wall. You need to get your players into position. And today, that header, oh god, the one that Chris Wood scored,
No, no,
painful
no,
to
no.
watch.
He was so poor. He was so poor. He
He
should
was
have
poor today.
collected that ball. He should have
He was
collected that ball. He should have punched that ball out of the area because the ball was within reach. The Ligt was the closest player to the ball after it left Chris Wood's head. But the Ligt's posture was in a manner that he couldn't have contact on the ball, or else he would score against himself. But he protected. He created. A wall around the area so Onana could come out and collect that ball. I think Delict actually thought Onana was going to collect that ball. I know that is bad in terms of defending, because for a defender, you must just clear whatever is in front of you.
hi Nelson. Hi Nelson. Nelson says again. Hi Nelson. Nelson. It's Salomo today. It
Hi,
doesn't look. I don't know.
Nelson.
Please, Nelson, tell me your thoughts. Tell me your thoughts. Tell us your thoughts. What you think about the game. Josh, yeah. Moving on again. Rashford. Rashford's position on the. I, I I don't even know whether he's on the right because we saw him try that under Eric left. To this time behind the striker is very ineffective too. He's more threatening. He used to be more threatening
For
coming
me,
from
I
the
think
left,
Ruben
but
Amorim.
things are now changing.
I think Ruben
And
Amorim, Ruben Amorim put out the wrong squad. Sorry, the wrong lineup. Garnacho should not have started, and the time that he brought on Zagzi, Rashford, Mason Mount, the players that he
But he
took
brought
out.
on Rashford, but Rashford was also poor. In fact,
Yeah, but
I
listen,
remember Mason Mount was coming on, and you're like, what is he going to do?
yeah,
And
but
indeed, Josh, he
listen,
did nothing.
yeah, but you see, at that point at the point that Rashford was on the pitch and Mason Mount and all these changes had been made, those players who were brought on were not actually given a chance. The moment Ugarte got out of that pitch, they could not play. We could no longer find the ball. I like the fact that Mainu tried to carry the ball, but even when he carried the ball to the last third, there was not too much movement for him to play a pass into a player. So it became also very difficult
Well,
for us to get a goal in that manner.
the team just lacked composure, Josh, especially in the second half. They lacked composure, rushing their play, failing to break through, losing possession. There's lack of creativity. Oh my God, especially in the final third, we are really dying. Only Ahmad and Bruno constantly trying to create. Then overall, United's loss was due to their own mistakes rather than Forest's play. Because I'm not really rating Forest so high. I know they're in the sixth position. Yeah, but yeah, I think it's a beatable team. The blame lies largely, Josh, with the players rather than the coach. And I mean, when this is when painful as I may not want to say it, I have to say these players did cost Ten Hag his job. Honestly speaking, bang average performance that needs to be improved. Things that we've been
Do
talking
you
over and
remember
over
the time
again.
that Eric Ten Hag came out and
And
said
very
that
poor. He
this
didn't even
Manchester
wish them
United
good
side?
when he was in his last words.
Do you remember the time that Eric Ten Hag came and said this Manchester United side will not play like Ajax, will never
Mhm.
play like Ajax?
I remember.
It is
And Amorim
because
also said it.
he had finished the first season. When he finished the first season, in the second season, much as the players were getting injured and we didn't have a good run of players to actually have certain routines from the training pitch, the players were incapable of doing some of the things like keeping the ball and making the right movements and stuff like that. Because today you would have, say, maybe Evans playing alongside Lindelof. Tomorrow you have Maguire playing against alongside Luke Shaw, and the other day, and and things like that. So it became very difficult.
Well, in the comment section, Nelson says Martinez was called all game. Something seems to be bothering him. He's no longer hyped like before. And by the way, the way he was being bullied, Nottingham Forest has giants. In the post-match interview, Amorim said he brought on Maguire for set pieces because we were dying and the defense was too exposed. I think Dala
But he
also,
brought
sorry,
him on
Delict
for
was also
Delict.
not doing it. Yeah,
He
Delict
brought
was
him
also
on
not
for
doing it.
Delict, as in like Delict was a better attacker of the ball than Maguire.
With him heading. I remember he said, well, let him just come on, play the ball and head the ball.
But then
Yo,
he went and headed our only chance, our last chance.
I remember.
We called
Uh,
him to head the ball from the back, not at the front. He just headed it into the corner. Actually, goal kick.
Nelson says Euro was playing safe, holding back Ahmad. He needed to move forward with the team like Mazarawi does. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's just getting integrated. Hopefully, he switches up very fast, or rather, very soon. But
it was too safe.
I have players that I'm really, I don't want to give chances anymore to players like Marcus Rashford. And painful, he has a very heavy, huge contract, still 3 years left, 350,000 per week. I don't think any club can really take him. So I really don't know. But Josh, I'm looking forward to your. I'm looking forward to your. I mean, to your suggestions. What do you think? What would, if you were Amorim? What would you do? You've talked about the performance that came.
I
Sorry,
would stick
the
to the
lineup
best
that was put
players.
out today.
Yeah, I would stick to the best players that I have
But he has to
seen.
rotate them.
Yeah, but I would stick to the best. Now, see, I'm Amorim. You not him.
Okay,
I would
okay.
stick to the best players that I have seen for the period that I've been at the club, and that would be my first lineup. Now, when I'm rotating those players, there will be positions that I do not rotate. I don't rotate them only because what I have on the bench is not good enough. When this is a season that in your sort of the moment you
Yeah.
fired a manager before the season ended, you had written off that you had written off this season, so you were just preparing for next season. So I mean, to ride the tide and maybe get some results, maybe you can have that team that you do think should be the starting team. For me, I think Ugarte should be a mainstay in this team for us to progress, and Fernandez should play alongside Ugarte, because we have so many players up front, and the two tens can pick themselves depending on who is on form.
Well, Nelson says, thank you, Mr. Amorim, because right now we're taking you for those few minutes you were Nelson says Dalot doing nothing out of his laps. Yo, bro, out of 9-0 successful. Ganacho is failing to catch up with the new system. Hopefully, the frustration won't put his form down. Well, it looks like it is. And I think he's trying to, but the only problem with the problem that I currently have with Ganacho right now is getting into position. He makes good runs, by the way. He controls the ball, gets close to the 18, or even enters the box, and somehow, somewhere, he fluffs or he wastes or he loses position. I don't know. I don't know what's up. I don't know what's up.
You
Mason
see,
Mount
you
makes no game. It makes no difference in our game. I agree with you.
nothing
Absolutely
at
no
all.
difference at
You see,
all.
I actually
But Dalo is
when
a major talking point, Josh. This game that
when
has
I
ended,
had when I
he
had
is.
when I had what Amorim said about Mason Mount, I was worried. I was worried because those are things that
You say that boy knows football. You can
yeah,
see
as in for I
he
don't want
loves
to
football.
listen to such
And I have
things.
two positions for him.
Yes, because you're going to stick to the guy, but the guy is not fit.
I know he's going to cost you. Maybe
Yes,
he's
he is a
just
good
poor.
player. He's a talented player. Even when Eric Ten Hag brought him in, he actually thought that he would play with two advanced eights, and Bruno Fernandes and Mason Mount would be the advanced eight, so they would be able to press. I think that maybe you saw during the game against Fulham this season, but that was the only game he was fit, and the next game he was not available.
And what's with
So I
Man
mean,
United, Josh? Sorry, continue.
yeah, Amorim could have seen something about him, but to me, I didn't like it because I mean, he's going to keep, he's going to hang around a player who is not going to be available for him. So I mean, even when he's making decisions to recruit players, he might still think that I have Mason Mount,
Yeah,
whereas not.
Rasmus Holland in his interview after the game said something very important. He said it's a bit annoying. They scored very early in the second half and in the first half, which is sort of killing the game a little bit and the confidence as well. Josh, we talked about that. What's with the club conceding early, both in either halves? It's not the first time it has happened. They concede early in the first half. Again, even when the second half is starting, we also concede.
Concentration, the character of the players, because at that point it's the character of the players that you have to look at. I mean, why do you come into the game and you act this way? But if anything, the two goals they got to stretch the game was due to Onana.
Amorim says on the CB's holding onto the ball, he says they are trying to reach perfect solution. They need time to train. 2 weeks plus focus is don't lose the ball with sloppy passes. They have more confidence to take the ball plus play between the lines. Against low blocks, uh, you have to take the risks. He went on to say I know Bruno Fernandes is dangerous near the box. He scored the second goal. By the way, that was a very beautiful goal, but he was tired. I could have left him, but
Yeah.
Mason is also good. Is also good on CPA. He's capable of scoring because he is very technical, and we needed fresh legs in transition. We used all the, I don't know what he was saying anyway. He went on to say, I had was at Sporting Lisbon at the beginning. For me, it's the same. For the world, it's completely different because there's a lot of attention on Manchester United. But for me, it's the feeling. I lived that period at Sporting. It also happens in many clubs. We need time. That's it.
Yeah,
He
we do
still
need
went.
time. And
Mm, mm,
you see, the good thing is there's progress because he has often told us that he prefers the progress to be in the performances. And today, much as we've lost the game, he can come out with positives from the game because it's not really the sloppy play that cost us the game, but individual errors of Andre Onana in goal.
well, let me keep on with Amorim. He says, we knew it to be a long way. We want to wait because it is a huge club and we feel that is difficult when we lose. We understand the context, but we must not deviate from the trajectory and continue the same work, the same things. He went on to say on Rashford and Zaxi not starting in a game since their brace. Every game is a different story. So you have to focus on the opponent and what you see in training and in games. Every detail counts. You want to use players with different characteristics. That is Rush. That is Amorim Josh, because most fans have been asking why these players Rashford hasn't started yet, and yeah,
For
that's
me,
what he
I'm not.
says.
Yeah, but for me, I'm not one who prefers players to start ahead of the others.
Mm,
Even if I tell you that I don't like Ganacho to start, I would prefer him coming off the bench,
mm,
given what I have seen. I always trust what the manager has selected because the manager has more time with these players, and I only watch them for 90 minutes on match day, but he
mm.
spends time with them, and there are things that he sees that he would rather such a player gives him. Yeah, for Ganacho, I only say that he does not start games because I have seen that much as they put trust in him and they want him to give certain things, he just is incapable of delivering.
But Josh, in a minute, what do you think is Ganacho's problem? Because at least with Dallo, we
Headless
know there's a lot
chicken,
of things. He's what?
headless chicken,
Josh,
headless chicken,
what do you think is Ganacho's problem? Come on.
headless chicken. He doesn't have a good football brain.
Usually, the word headless chicken is used to mean someone who just runs all over the pitch, Josh.
No, it means someone who has no football brain, but he can
Because
run. He can run. He's all over the pitch, but it's a headless chicken. When you cut it and just let it go.
uh, he also talked about Onana. He said Onana already saved us a lot of time. We have to find a way when it happens to Onana to turn around, score
Yeah.
2 goals. The same way he saved us in Ipswich, we have to improve all aspects of the game. Well, he's. I think that's fair enough. That's fair enough.
Yeah, but he
Um,
should do better.
Everyone here has his heads up and
Especially
down
the one
to
of
their
attacking.
careers.
Especially the one of attacking his cross. Command your area. Attack that ball. But
I've never
Mason
felt.
Mount, I don't know. I don't know about Mason Mount, yo. As in, I see him coming on and I wonder what he's going to do.
Player that should, for me, once again, guys, thank you so much for tuning in Sports Jazz, Josh and Isaac. Josh, for me, players that should leave Man United at the end of the season. I keep saying, and I'm going to say it again. Rashford should leave if an opportunity. Let him go on loan like Jadon Sancho. Mason Mount should leave. Maguire, please don't renew, free transfer. Luke Shaw, we love you. You've done everything, but maybe his luck is somewhere else, Josh. Lindelof, I won't say anything. John Evans, those are now 6 players. I love Casemiro, but as you said, I don't think it would have made any difference. Maybe because he was a bit fresh, but also he should leave. Create Ericsson, he should leave. All those players should leave and make way for new players. I mean, we need even a left back. So if you let all those players go, maybe it even chips us in to get a left back. Sorry, left wing back. You know, because we
Yeah,
are so poor,
Ineos must be cooking.
and it's alarming.
Ineos must do everything in their power to actually help us out of this.
Who commands our CB? Who commands our defense? The three CBs are all quiet. They need to be vocal. This is where I agree with Nelson. You know,
Yeah,
Lisandro Martinez used to be commanding. Do you remember?
yeah.
Something is wrong with him. He's not in his right state of mind. I don't know, but because he used to be shouting at everyone, even at his skipper then, Maguire, and telling him what to do. You know, so you can see it's really painful. It's really painful. But that is football.
And
That was
Delict
Amorim.
is the whole captain
By the he was a whole
since he was
captain.
17 years old.
He's a captain material. He's
So
been a captain
he
material all
should be
throughout.
commanding that area much better.
Quite unfortunate that Amorim had to suffer back-to-back defeats. And well, we have Victoria Pleasant midweek, and after with all that fatigue, I'm not saying Man City is not going to play. They're also going to play, but we play on Thursday. We have Man City, Josh. Man City is currently not doing so well. They just their game with Crystal Palace at Selhurst Stadium ended 2-2, but you could see they were also struggling to score goals. They came from down each goal to make 2-2-1, then 1-1. Beautiful header from Haaland, then 2, and then 2-2. So from Lewis, who later got a red card, but still they are not at their best. They've lost. They have only won one game in around rather 8 matches or 9 matches. So I don't know if it will be the same with us because we are visiting Etihad Stadium. I don't know if we are
You
going to beat
see,
them. And
you
after
see,
that, we also have Postecoglou.
I've always told you that Pep Guardiola is a cash book manager. The thing is, over the years, Pep Guardiola has been able to use um, the muscle that Man City has, the financial muscle that Man City has, to bring in all these players that he wants, the players that are fit for purpose. But when you look at over the last 2 years, I think he has only brought in Akanji, Doku, and Savinho as the marquee signings at the club. But there was a period that Man City would bring in three players of that level, when the ones they have already are just as good. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm.
But then the PSR rules, maybe coupled with all these charges that were thrown on them, they had to start to do things the right way. And then the cash book is no more. He does not have the players that he would love to have. The players at the club have won for so long, they are maybe complacent, and the ones who are older, who have played longer at the club, have gotten older. So I mean, in that manner, Man City, even when they miss one or two players, now it's a big deal. It was never a big deal because they would miss one or two players, but the three players on the bench are better. You would think they are better than even the ones who were there before. But players like John Stones are no longer fit. Every now and then there's a player who is injured.
I think he needs to get, by the way, because do not forget his players are also aged. You look at
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Kyle Walker, you look at Rodri, you look at uh, who's the captain? Kevin De Bruyne. You look at very many players are getting aged, so he needs to. They need fresh legs, and as
Yeah,
you
there's
said,
but the financial muscle is
the
no longer there
FFP,
because of all
yeah,
the rules that are around football today. The FFP, they managed to um, illegally beat that, but then again,
Nelson says Ganacho is from the United Academy. Wasn't he under Nick Butt? He lacks brains to think quick. His strength is speed. against one-on-one with it. But even now, the one-on-ones are failing.
But he has the worst dribble in the world. He just runs with the ball. He can. It's very difficult for him to beat his man because he just
Just
runs with the ball.
that is for
Taji,
you
my
down.
man. Yeah, we are here. We are here. I'm ready. I'm ready for that. I'm ready for that. I don't have a problem because I'm actually very humble. I
Taji,
know that
you
I just
struggled. You
no. I'm very
struggled.
humble because I know that we just have an extended preseason. I know it's during a season, but for us, this is our extended preseason, and no love lost. No love lost. We're still Manchester United, still the biggest club in world football. So I mean, global stars.
Taji, that is Josh for you. He's still hurling praises, or rather praise, even after the turmoil. But yeah, we saw. By the way, earlier today, was it today? I was reading a presser from Jim Ratcliffe, and he was saying the club is very poor currently, and so they're fighting, they're working their way around to fight that. The data analytics at the club is way too old, not advanced. That is one of the reasons the club has been recruiting very poor people or players that do not fit the criteria of the managers that are training, the criteria of the club. So that's why, in fact, that's why you see they could buy like Lukaku, they could buy like Pogba. Yes, he was a good player, but at that very moment, was he really needed? There were better players, cheaper
By the
options.
way, a player like Paul Pogba could, if he gets back to his old self, he could flourish in
Josh.
this system.
No. Let him go. Please
He
don't talk
could.
about Pogba and his
He
highness.
could.
Let him take his highness somewhere. Let him go to Marshall. He's in Greece. Let him take his highness. That's it. The highness, and everything. Anyhow, man, painful. Taji, what's up? Taji, what's up? Yeah, he says the EPL is tough. He's going to keep us. He's going to keep on reminding us how he wonders. You will need to try. You'll need time to try and improve, but it's different for a club like Man United. It's different.
Yeah, Taji, I think now Isaac is starting to understand why I was backing Eric Ten Hag, because I just expected United to get a new manager after going through this very difficult transition that they are working on. Jim Ratcliffe is still telling you that even just I think as the data analytics at the club are very poor. They're very old fashioned. A team like Liverpool has the best in class at the data analytics, and they use this for all the processes they do to recruit people, including Anslot. So, I mean, while these things were taking shape at the club, I just hope that we remain with that manager, so the new manager that comes in does not carry on the baggage of we are putting too many things together while he's also implementing his own ideas. Maybe at a certain point, I thought that they would clash, and it would not be very rosy. Because if you have Ineos bringing in all the people that they brought in, um, this is the first time that they're working together. This is the first manager that they have. That was Eric Ten Hag. So, I mean, as you await for their working relationship to get better, let them be. Yeah. I agree with you. Thanks to some idiots at the club. Isaac, your mic.
Sorry, no, I was reading the comment where he said that's what I was saying. Liverpool is a very much modern club moving forward in all aspects. Well, you guys are still 10 years behind in all aspects. And I'm like, he doesn't have to say the word 10 years behind. We get it. Just say we are behind. But it's true. It's true. We are way poor. Way poor. That analytics is for
Yeah,
Man
but we
United.
are poor because
It's poor.
of people like the Glazers who own the club, because
And you know,
they entrusted the product on the pitch with a guy like Ed Woodward, who, for lack of a better word, knew nothing about the football on the grass. He just knew how to make the club a lot of money and sustain itself as a commercial powerhouse in football. But the product on the pitch was so poor. I mean, you can think, or you can say that he always bought players for purposes of the New York exchange market, because the players sold the most shirts, and maybe our shares skyrocketed on the night that we did make that signing. But the player was never going to do anything at the club.
Amorim said, when it comes to the corner, it's my fault because I'm responsible. It is difficult in this contest to give the team energy after conceding one first move, rather after conceding on the first move, but we managed to do it. We came back into the game, and then the same thing happened in the second half. At that point, it's difficult to transmit something. We managed to reduce the score, but it will be more. He said it will be what? It will be more than quality. And the man says Cristiano Ronaldo told us.
I do, that's rubbish. He said what we already knew. He didn't have to go to a Piers Morgan interview to tell us what we already knew. He said nothing nothing new. So I mean, he's no hero. We knew. Manchester United fans, we knew. Maybe the Piers Morgan never knew, and he had to tell him.
Sorry about that. Sorry about that, Josh. Yeah, you were saying Cristiano didn't have to go to the Piers Morgan. Well, whatever he was saying is turning out to be true, Josh. I know you
To
said you already
you, to
knew.
you,
You
to
already
you. But
knew.
for me, I already knew. I didn't need CR7 to sit with Piers Morgan to tell me what I already knew.
Anyhow, thank you so much for tuning in. Sports Jazz, Josh, and Isaac. That was our reaction from the game that just ended an hour ago, approximately, or rather 90 minutes ago. Nottingham Forest beating Man United at Old Trafford. I'm just asking, when is this going to stop? How many times do we
Next
have to lose
season,
at Old Trafford? Just listen, how many times do we have to lose at Old Trafford alone this season to get into the game? Alone, not away. I'm not talking about even the away games. How many times? Because it's now becoming shameless. It's not the fortress that it used to be. Any
I
team
think
just,
your priorities are
Nottingham Forest
misguided.
just last beat Man United at Old Trafford 30 years ago. Well, today,
I think your priorities are misguided. If you're a Man United fan and you're still thinking that you're going to
but
win
Josh,
the
it's you who
trophy.
always It's you who always gets me hyped up whenever
Yeah,
we are
because
losing.
me, I
But
understand
now
the
we're
club. I understand the club. I understand where we are. And I mean, this, even when you tell me Manchester United is playing Man City tomorrow, my gut feeling tells me we are winning the game. But if we do lose the game, I do understand. So I'm not very beaten that we've lost the game, because I know this is an extended period
I
of
am
our
beaten. I don't
preseason.
want us. I don't like seeing the table and we're in the 13th position. So I am beaten.
Why do you keep
I had
looking
hopes
at the
when I
table?
was in the ninth position, thinking maybe we were going to beat Arsenal and get into the top four. At least fifth or sixth. And look where we are right now.
I only look at
Very
the
poor.
table when it starts to matter.
Well, it's
It
going to
doesn't
matter.
matter now.
I remember at the beginning of the season when Ten Hag was there and you kept on saying, it's still early. Wait, December is
Yeah,
not even yet closed. We still have
yeah,
even May. But well,
exactly.
December, Josh, is closed. We are here.
Yeah,
We have only
yeah,
3 weeks
we're here.
left to close December.
Yeah, but I mean, we're not in a bad place, and Eric Ten Hag is no longer at the club. Maybe we would be fourth by now.
This man.
You don't know. He's not at the club. He's
No,
not at
Josh,
the
there is
club.
no way. There is
What do you
no way.
mean
There
there
is
is
no way.
no way? What do you mean there is no way?
Mm-mm.
It is a
There's no
possibility.
way.
Maybe it could have happened.
There's no way. There's no way. But yeah, very sad tonight. Or today, even in losing to. Trust me,
Yeah, but
I feel
you should be
disgruntled.
humble. Like Taji was telling me to, the humbling will continue. Yes, me, I'm prepared for that. I know that that is going to happen. And for me, actually, today, I enjoyed the game because I saw something that has, I saw progress in the performance from the games before. I mean, the manager also keeps saying, but in the game we played against Everton, we didn't have control of the game like we had control today. Today we had control of the game. We just failed to
Josh,
make quick
are you serious?
transitions.
Maybe the first half, but we didn't have control of the game.
We
That being Josh.
did. We
Okay,
did.
yeah. Okay, yeah. The position, the possession, the stats back up your statement when you say that. They do back
Yeah.
up. We had the possession and all that, but
Throughout the game, even in the second half, even when they were scoring, they scored the second goal against the run of play.
it's just. And by the way, Josh, before we go off the stats real quick, United had 17 shots with 7 on target. Nottingham had 11 shots with 3 on target. Those are the 3 goals. Possession wise, as you've said, 72 for United, 28 for Nottingham, 592 passes for United, 236 for Nottingham, 88 pass accuracy for United, 64 passes for United. Sorry, for 64 pass accuracy for Nottingham. It's poor. I hate this, especially if it shows that we've worked so good. I hate this. But again, our
Yeah,
end
that's why it
product is
was
very poor.
okay.
Our end product is very poor.
Yeah, you see, Taji says it's too much of a drop off for a club as big as yours, and it's been a while now. Amorim will need time to build his own team, but you don't have enough in the bank to change out most of the players. I
Even if we
do,
had FFP,
and
because
that's what he's
Roma
saying.
is Roma
That's what
is
he's
in
saying.
January.
We don't have money, so FFP and PSR, the profitability and sustainability rules. But you see, Taji, you are fortunate that you took what, 36 years? You had never won the Premiership since 1992 when it was inaugurated. You won it in the COVID season. I mean, in 2020. It took you a while, but you were fortunate at the time that it was still possible. We didn't have all these
You have to make that
barriers.
comeback.
No, no. Come on. No, you didn't have all these barriers blocking
That
you
is not.
from
That's a
spending
clap
money
back.
and stuff like that. So it was easy for Liverpool. I remember Liverpool hired their legend, Kevin Dalglish. You hired Dalglish, and Dalglish was so poor. I mean, he was so poor. He just brought anyone who was English or British at the club. But you agreed that this was a time for us to maybe transform ourselves and find out who we are. I mean, he had his time. You fired the guy, brought in top guys, and you continued to play football.
Facts. He agrees with you. He agrees with you. So you can tell from experience what's going to happen to Man United.
Yeah.
Thanks for agreeing
But
with me. I see the 6th or 7th manager getting sacked.
that is the reason I was telling you Eric Ten Hag should stay at the club. You see, the new manager who was brought in with all the complicated style of football that he has, he will prosper. He will actually prosper at Man United in a short period of time. However, there's so many barriers for him to actually implement the style of football with the players that he would love at the club. So for you to have fired a manager, brought in another manager, and given him 2.5 years, I don't understand what you're trying to achieve.
He'll get the sack. And he says, mark my word, I'll tell these guys.
Yeah, I shall forever remember, because it is the day that Nottingham Forest won 3-2 at Old Trafford. But then again, I will remember because Andre Onana had a howler in the game. I know, I know. I actually, you're speaking from experience, because I mean, what, so many years you didn't win the Premier League title, but that was because of the place that you were in. At a certain point, Benitez later told us in an interview that Liverpool could not buy certain players because they cost a certain amount of money. The club could not just allow for that to happen. But yeah, such is the case. But you should know that United is a much bigger club than Liverpool is, and we shall find a way to make these things happen.
Again, he's speaking from experience. He says, but that's history. And he goes on to say, your club is history class FC. Thank you, Taji.
But
Take all the shots while you can, Taji. But I guarantee you, we are going to bounce back. Taji, we believe you. Taji is having a good. Taji, you survived. What game was it?
Newcastle.
The one that they lost? Newcastle?
Newcastle. They drew.
They drew. Actually,
Yeah,
they didn't lose. They
under
drew.
very
They bottled.
controversial circumstances. They drew. On another night.
And today they survived Everton. Just covering the cracks with hope. He says, "I will, Isaac." Just covering the cracks with hope. Hope in capital.
I'm
Hope in
actually
caps.
a very
That
optimistic
won't work in
person,
reality.
and when you support Manchester United, it's very difficult for you not to be optimistic, because even when we were making very wrong decisions, we would bring in players like Zlatan Ibrahimovic, players like Bastian Schweinsteiger. I mean, these are players who can accept to come to a club that looks like a bottomless pit.
Anyhow, thank you so much for streaming, guys. Thank you, anyone that has been in the comment section. Shout out to you, Taji. Shout out to you, Nelson. Whoever's in the comment section. Yeah, that was the game. United losing to Forest at Old Trafford, 2-3. And yeah, we are signing out. Catch you very soon. The energy is low, guys.
Cheers,
Please do
Taji.
forgive me.
Cheers.
Do forgive me. The energy is low. Cheers to everyone that is with us. Love you all.
Let's wait for the Merseyside derby.